There is nothing wrong with your radio. Do not make an effort to modify the volume. We are commanding the broadcast now. If we desire to make it louder, we will adjust the decibels. When forecasting the difference between reality and the extraordinary, perhaps it may not be as simple as it seems, because the world you think you know may not actually exist. Now, let's begin your journey into the Creepcast Terror Files.
In western Pennsylvania, children were often told a tale of a monstrous creature, a faceless man that wanders the streets at night, stalking the roads, looking for innocent prey. They called him the Green Man, or Charlie No-Face. Mothers would tell their children, if you go out after dark, Charlie No-Face may grab you. If you stay out too late, the Green Man will steal your face to place over the gaping hole where his face once was. He's known to roam Route 351 late at night and waits for you inside an old railroad tunnel. It's become a rite of passage in the Pittsburgh area. Young people frighten themselves with stories of this disfigured creature. Legend says that the Green Man was a utility worker. He was once killed by a downed power line that burned off his face and turned his skin green. In another version, Charlie No-Face fell in a vat of acid, which melted his skin and then crept in an old abandoned house where he lived out the rest of his days, venturing out only at night to terrorize residents in the area. These stories were grand, and to many people's surprise, somewhat true. What's up, creeps, freaks, and horror geeks? This is Jason, aka the Pope of Pain, and of course I'm here with my East Coast ghost, JDK. What's up, Jay?
Ready to talk your face off.
This is an urban legend that I like. I like this one, man, and it's got a lot of history and a lot of cool things about this one, man. We're talking about Charlie No-Face, man. Have you ever heard about this legend?
I never heard about this legend.
Yeah. It's a very centralized one. I have, so I'm from this area, ish. I'm a couple hours out, right?
Yeah. Ohio-vania.
Yeah, Ohio, West Virginia,
right.
Virginia, you know. But this thing right here, I've definitely heard this growing up, all right, about Charlie No-Face. I've actually learned a little bit more than what I knew as a kid, but I knew that there was a disfigured man that would walk the night. This is what I remember.
Okay.
Would walk the roads at night, right? And like if you shine your headlights on him, it would glow. He'd have a green glow to his face. And I heard he had a cane as well, right? And it's like, if you hear the taps of the cane, he will kill you and all types of stuff, right?
Right.
But that was it. That was all I got out of that. And then, but I never went up to the Pittsburgh area to go look for him, you know? And that's something that Beaver County, to be more specific.
And
right?
you weren't watching Toxic Avenger? It wasn't a green man with a broom, not a cane?
No, I wish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But one thing I like about this urban legend, because this is a legit Western Pennsylvania, area urban legend, was basically, it does have a true story that we're going to get to in a few minutes, man. But the fact of how twisted this tale gets over time, right? I tell one person, they tell someone else, but they twist it a little bit more, then they twist it a little bit more. I fucking love this. I love that part of this, man, because once again, I just said it in my little intro right there, right? Struck by lightning,
right?
Or did he fall in a vat of acid? How did the Green Man or Charlie No-Face lose his face?
And from brushing up on this for the show, man, I was seeing like a bunch of the stories changed throughout the years.
Yes,
from then versus today, right?
Yeah,
a lot of different theories.
And tons of different theories, but there, like I said, there is some truth to this, which we can get to in a second. And I don't know, do you have a lot of these little I always say these micro urban legends, because you go big urban legends, the Bloody Marys and stuff like that everybody's known nationwide, right? But these are some more regional stuff like this. Do you guys have some of this up in Massachusetts?
Yeah, we had the Pukwudgie.
Wow, I didn't even know what that is.
We have the Lizzie Borden, who I'm sure you know.
Okay,
about that.
To me, that's nationwide. Right?
That's nation. You think Is Lizzie Borden? You think so?
Man.
Yeah.
I knew about Lizzie Borden. Everybody out in California when I lived out there knew about Lizzie Borden, you know. And I mean, don't get me wrong, they popularized it in movies and all that stuff, right?
Did California know about the Gloucester sea monster?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I know. I've never heard of the what is it? The Gloucester
sea monster, yeah.
I don't even know what the hell that is.
Sure. Or there's the tunnel to hell.
Okay, see, like these are amazing.
Yeah,
right? Whatever you're telling me right now, but I knew Lizzie Borden, but all the rest of them, the fucking Pukwudgie, the colostomy bag monster, and the tunnel, the love tunnel to hell. These three things right here. This is what I'm talking about, right? This is why we're doing some Terror Files right now. You know, this is the stuff I want to cover. Covering the Mothman. As much as I love the Mothman, or as much as I love Lizzie Borden, it's been beat to death. Right? We're covering something that's a little bit more obscure, a little bit more regional, and to me, these are the tales that can really get twisted into some fun shit. You know,
for sure, man. And that's why I think doing the Flatwoods Phantom in our first episode
that was amazing.
Was so much fun.
I had so much fun with that.
So just eager to dive through more of these and discuss and decipher.
Yeah, and we won't have we don't have an eyewitness account on this one because most people. Well, let me get into this real quick because I don't want to give anything away. So the tale of Charlie No Face, right? Like I said, it's one of the examples of a true story. I said true. That's right. That gets wildly twisted, you know, especially how you came disfigured. Okay, we know one thing. All right, he had no eyes. He had no nose. He was missing an arm, and he walked with a cane. Okay, that's part of the story that always kind of sticks together. And then a lot of people are, you know, well, how did he glow? You know, he was only seen at night, and every time they seen him, he had a glow glint to his face, right? And come to find out about this, because once again, guys, this is a true story. Unlike a lot of bullshit, you know, urban legends. I'm sorry, I said bullshit, but I mean, I'm not discounting it. You know, the Pukwudgie could be a true one out there.
Find out.
We'll find it out. But this was a man. This was a real man that you could go out to, you know, I don't know, Piney Fork Tunnel, or go out to Beaver County, which. What a name for a county, right? I mean, wow, I live in Beaver County. And actually look for this guy, and kids did, man. This is one of those things, you know? And then the best thing, too, mothers would scare the shit out of their kids.
Right.
You don't come home at night, or you don't come back before the lights go out, guess what? The green face man, you know, or Charlie No Face is out there, or the green man's out there going to get you, you know?
It sounds like they were looking for something else in Beaver County, the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially, man. So, but yeah, so why does this guy, okay, should we get into who he really was?
Yeah, let's introduce this man by name, right?
Yeah, because once again, I was talking about the other rumors, guys, that he'd hide in the Piney Fork Tunnel, which is also called the Green Man Tunnel, and which is today you can actually go to this tunnel.
Right.
In fact, there's a website, I think it's called like Atlas Obscura, I think it's called, or something like that. And it basically has all the dark, cool stuff in the United States, like a map, like a little, hey, I want to go to Pennsylvania. What's in this area, you know? And it'll tell you. But there's guides on how to get to this tunnel, and where I guess a lot of it's filled right now with like a rock salt or something, right?
Which is par for the course for Western Pennsylvania.
Yeah, right.
They got to store it somewhere.
Yeah, no shit. But you can go there, and I want to get to that part later in the show here. And then, guys, this will be a relatively quick show, because this is not a long history. Well, it does have a long history, but there's not a lot to this urban legend, you know, besides the fact that it's true, you know, so that's the cool part. But anyway, and one of the legends that I heard, I told you, if you go to that tunnel as a kid, right, or you're out there and you call out Charlie No Face, you don't have to say it 3 times. It's not Bloody Mary or shit like that, which I've seen people say. But if you say it and you totally get quiet and listen, you'll hear 3 taps of a cane, you know? Dot, dot, dot. And then that means, nope, he's there. You know, Charlie No Face is watching you, man. So, is this legend true? Many aren't, like we said, but yes. Well, sort of. Okay. You want the history of this guy?
Let's roll.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to read this because I wrote this down, but I kind of went back and forth, but I don't want to miss any facts on this guy. So Charlie No Face actually has a basis in reality. In 1919, all right, an 8-year-old Murado, Pennsylvania boy named Ray Robinson climbed on a power line near the Harmony Line trolley to see if there's any eggs in a bird's nest that his friends have spotted. I guess their kids, this is like Stand By Me.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I envisioned.
They're walking the train tracks, and they spot like a bird's nest, and they're like, "Yo, Ray, get up there,"
Yeah, you pick straws. Longest one has to go up and get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so Ray, he had some cojones. He was a boy at 1919,
a curious boy.
Which is, look at 1919. We're just coming out of I think we're just coming out of World War I, or in World War I, time frame and all that stuff. And so this is, people are poor. Because they, when there's giant wars like this, it's like, hey, all hands on deck. Support. Don't eat meat. Don't do this and that. So
Racy's dinner,
right?
There,
yeah. So he's gonna get some eggs, bring them home to Mama, right? And Mama Robinson, and see what's up. Well, as soon as he reached the top, little Ray, he accidentally grabbed the live power line. Okay, he was electrocuted and disfigured and made blind by the accident. Even though many of the doctors said he was done for, guess what? Ray survived. Okay. Now, what has he lost? He's lost an arm. He has lost pretty much his whole face has been burned off. His eyes, I don't know. When you lose your eyes, I don't know if they explode after getting shocked. I guess it was like 20 to 50,000 volts.
Right. I would imagine they just blow out, right?
Right. How fucking cool is that?
Oh, God.
Like two fucking eggs popping, right?
Right.
Oh, my. That is so trauma, by the way.
I was just thinking that would be such a trauma movie, right?
Oh, my God, dude.
Damn.
Yeah. So, but he survived, okay? And I guess he survived and had a good attitude, which is what I read, okay?
Right.
So you take away my eyes, my face, my lips, everything, my nose, my arm, and yeah, I'm not going to be in a good mood, man. I'm just not going to be a happy person.
No, nor would I want to be alive, right? Like,
right.
Are you even living at that point?
100%, right. But he did, and he was cool with it. So he spent the rest of his life in Beaver County and would go out at night for exercise so he could avoid people. Because I guess that he started at first going out during the day, and neighbors complained.
Right, neighbors, he probably got picked on.
Yeah, and he probably scaring the shit out of you, right? You got to think, you have a Toxic Avenger mask on 24/7.
Right, no escaping it.
Yeah, and this is 1919, all right? Or maybe let's give it a few more years because he was, I'm sure it took a few years for him to be able to walk again and all that stuff.
Sure.
So, 1920s, we're getting ready to hit the Depression here shortly and all that stuff. And now you got fucking, like I said, Citizen Toxie walking around Pennsylvania. Yeah, I imagine neighbors probably get like, what the fuck, right?
Sure, and you probably wait for the darkness to fall just to kind of get some fresh air without...
True, you can't stay cooped up in a house forever, right?
No.
The Charlie No Face he's got to move, right? So,
Right.
So he would start going out at night. And once, of course, passerbys, he would go walk Route 351, which is a famous route. No, I have no idea where that's at, actually. I was going to try to make something up and add to this legend, but actually I don't know where that's at, but it's obviously in Beaver County. But people would start by. So basically the legend started kicking around. Hey, there's a guy walking around and all that stuff. Anyway, so once his story became legend, people began driving out to the road just to meet this guy. Now, would you do that? If you knew there's a dude walking out disfigured at night, okay, me and my boys, we're going to go check this motherfucker out.
No doubt, especially if you hear so many dudes got his face melted off and all this kind of shit. I got to see what that's all about.
Yeah.
Curiosity, man.
Now, he would originally hide, okay, when there's cars coming by and all that stuff. I think this is where that tunnel came into play a lot, right?
Right.
He would duck into that thing, which made it even more creepy.
Oh, right?
Now maybe you flash a light in there and you see a no-face guy. And, I'm out.
Hiding in the tunnel? No, thank you.
I am out on that one, right? But eventually, I guess people coaxed him out, right? Hey, come out and talk to us. We're cool. So he did. And, a lot of people would hook him up with beers and cigarettes and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And I also saw in a thing that he would walk the road when he put one foot on the pavement and one foot on the gravel because he was blind,
Can't
right?
Get lost,
and
right.
that way he stuck to the road the whole time, but he had a cane and all that stuff. So hence the cane taps that we were talking about earlier, and which is pretty rad, if you ask me. That's surviving,
right?
So. But eventually, Ray, he lived a whole life, dude. He was born 1919, or whatever. I say he was born 19, whatever. Maybe he got shocked in 1919. I couldn't remember, right?
Right.
But he died in 1985, so he did a whole life, man, in his 70s.
Lived his life, which is nice.
And but the cool thing is, Charlie No Face legend still lives on to the day. and I'll get to that in a little while, guys, here in a second, man. But I don't know how he got the name Charlie No Face. I mean, where's Charlie came from? I don't know if that was just a nickname, but I mean, his name's Ray, right?
I imagine was Charlie Brown around in the 20s?
Oh, good.
I think so, right?
Good point. Or it was a very common name too. Right?
It's a rad name though, by the way.
Charlie No Face is such a. We actually have a T-shirt design of that, here at Terror Trader, which is fucking rad as hell.
He sounds like your local drunk in a bar. That drinks his face off, right? That's Charlie No Face.
Charlie No Face, yeah. But it's trippy because once again, he would make home goods like leather belts and shit at home to survive, and eat. And then I guess he lived with his family, multiple people in his family, not just like mom and dad, but I heard they were abusive. I heard they were dicks.
Oh, the parents?
Yeah, parents or family, they treated him like shit. And this is what I read, guys. Obviously, I wasn't around in the fucking 50s and 60s and all that stuff, right? But this is what I've heard, that he wasn't treated good, and this is one of the reasons he escaped out there in the house, right? Now, why did his face glow green, right? There's a couple rumors of that, and I think investigating this, I would say, to me, what actually makes more sense was he had to, you're a burn victim, okay? And I guess on his nose there was it was his nose being burned off and never really healed. So it was a constant open sore, right?
Yeah, and I actually went to school with a burn victim, like a really severely burned victim. Yeah. And it's just, when you're in like the light, for like the reflection of it, it does look very reflective.
Reflective?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I can imagine he's probably lubing it. I'm thinking he's lubing his face up too, right? With Vaseline or some type of ointment to keep it.
Take care of it.
Right.
Moisturize
it. So now, flash your headlights on a guy with a face full of Vaseline, right?
Sure.
Sounds like a weird weird kinky thing a wolf tummy would do. But anyway.
In Beaver County.
Yeah, in Beaver County, yeah. So you're going to flash it. And I also heard he wore like an army green jacket all the time, okay? So like a, Nam Air or whatever, and that would reflect into his face.
Dude, everything we're talking about, did Charlie No Face inspire the Toxic Avenger? Because like, this is so...
I'm telling you, man, it totally is. I mean, when the rumors of them falling in a vat of acid, right? That's how he lost all his...
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
This
is the 90-pound weakling, right?
Right.
So
I kind of read something. I don't know. Maybe correct me. But I heard that people would come from like St. Louis, Chicago, all these different places just to like get a picture with them or try to find them.
You got to think too, and that's the next thing. This is why I love how things travel. Guys, we're talking 50s, we're talking 60s, right? Probably 40s as well. I mean, I don't know when he started doing the walks.
Sure. Like how did it travel so far, right?
Right. There's no, besides a newspaper article that may have got published, but even that's regional, right? I mean, I don't remember reading, when I was in West Virginia, I don't even get the Pittsburgh newspaper,
Sure.
And this is the 80s when I grew up and all that stuff. So this is the word of mouth, and this is why I think, the telephone game, right? I tell you something and you tell somebody else, some 19 people went by, it comes back to me, it's a totally different story, right? I love that. And I think it's what most of our urban legends are built off of, right?
I think the coolest story about it was I saw there was like a newlywed couple that was traveling.
Yeah.
And they got lost and they ran into him and the wife got so scared she had a fucking heart attack.
I love that. So he's actually killed people.
He's killed somebody.
Just with his looks. No, but the rumors, I also heard rumors as a kid too that he once again, you heard the 3 taps of the cane and if you didn't escape, he would drag you in a tunnel and kill you, which I love those crazy ass stories as well, Right. Unfortunately, fortunately maybe, none of those are true, Charlie was a really good dude, right? He actually started really enjoying a lot of the people that would come up to him and talk to him and all that stuff, give him a beer and a cigarette, and he would come out and he'd tell him a story, know, which is dope, man. But whenever there's good, there's always there's evil.
Worse than the disfiguration?
Yes, the real horrors of the Charlie No Face legend.
Could be worse.
Yeah. I guess Ray dealt with a lot of cruel people, man. I've heard rumors that they would pick him up and drop him off far away. Like, where he get lost. And you got to think, guys, he's blind.
Can't find his way back home.
Right, can't find his way. I heard that, once again, Ray liked his beer, right?
Yeah.
His Beaver County beer. People would piss in bottles and give it to him and all that stuff. So he eventually would not drink any beer unless it had a cap on it,
Sure.
I guess it got so bad, that he started carrying a pistol, just to fucking defend himself, man, and all this stuff. So come to find out, the real monsters of Charlie No Face were actually the fucking bullies out there,
And I want to say, to Charlie, I'm sorry, buddy, but it hasn't gotten any better today.
It hasn't, man. There's always going to be douchebags like this. There's always going to be kids that, and don't get me wrong, have I done anything like that in my life? Well, yeah, I mean, peer pressure is a motherfucker,
of course.
I always say, right? And you get around a group of people and you want to impress. I don't think I could ever bring myself, though. I've done some really stupid shit, and I have done and I have stupid shit done to me.
Right.
But I don't think I could ever fuck with a guy like Charlie No Face.
No. I'll piss in my buddy's beer all day. That's his senses. You know what I mean?
Right.
But a poor guy like that, man, no. Why would you do that?
No, and that's something that you hear back then. This is like I've seen pictures because people would take pictures of this guy too. He would pose for pictures, and if you guys go online and type in Charlie No Face, and maybe we'll throw it here on a graphic, or maybe I'll throw it in a graphic as well, right? You actually get to see, I'm talking mega disfigurement, right? Skin just laid over his eye sockets, giant weird lips, like almost like a cartoon dog, muzzle, and then just a big hole for a nose,
It's a terrifying image. And I hate to put it like that, but it is. In daylight, let alone in a tunnel at night with 3 headlight flashes, you know what I mean?
For sure.
No thanks.
Yeah. But once again, it was a solid, fun urban legend, right? And one that you can actually, very few times, if I want to do Bloody Mary, I want to go see the Pukwudgie out there in old Massachusetts, right? Very, very seldomly will you actually, if I want to go see Bigfoot, let's just go a huge one, right? Or the Mothman.
Yep.
99.9% of the people in this world will never see it, unless you're on some good drugs. Okay?
Yeah, you might.
You might see some shit, right? But this is something you could actually go visit. This is go see for decades, a little bit before my time, obviously. He died in 85 or something, right?
Yep.
I'm old, but I ain't that old, man. So I never got a chance to, but I remember the legends. And the cool thing about this, dude, is it lives on. Right? Yeah. It does live on, and which I wanted to get to about, despite his death, right? Ray Robinson died, I said 85. The Green Man ghost is still haunting out there, hunting that rail tunnel.
As he should, man.
Yeah, out in Piney Fork, all right? And so, once again, this is something where you can still tell your kids, still tell people around the area, go to Piney Fork Tunnel.
And I think that's the coolest thing about this, right? Like, you could actually go to the location. You got a story to tell for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I drove through the tunnel. Maybe you couldn't get inside of it. You parked outside of it. You crawled through the salt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And, and once again, you call out Charlie No Face in the darkness and then listen for, I got to do those taps, right? There's 3 taps. So I think that's dope. I think that's what, once again, we're getting away from this too much internet these days where you're going to look up, oh, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. Is it?
Yeah.
How about go experience it?
I was just going to say, you could go to the tunnel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Go to the tunnel and enjoy something that get a little energy in you, right? And maybe you hear something. I don't fucking know.
And I can't wait to dig a little bit deeper into this one, because you probably saw this, man. There's apparently there's a tunnel right beside it that has its own urban legend.
Oh, is this the murderers?
Yeah.
I heard about this, man.
Yeah, dude, which kind of tripped me out because I'm like, 2?
Yeah, and so this one I believe, and we'll get into this, but a guy killed his family.
Yeah, mother and daughter, right?
Right, with a hatchet, and was it
jumped out in front of a moving train or something,
and then jumped out. Was he sure it wasn't the exact tunnel?
It might have been the exact tunnel.
He
jumped in front of something.
I've heard rumors that this was the exact tunnel that this guy killed his wife and daughter. And then a train came through and he jumped out in front. So where you go through there, if you hear train whistles, because there's no trains going through here, it's him again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So not only you have the Green Man or Charlie No Face ghost hanging on this thing, you may have this, I don't know who this axe murderer is, but we'll call him the Train Man.
Right.
You may have him there. So, this is strictly Americana urban legend stuff that I fucking love, man.
Yeah.
And this is stuff we want to report on here at the Terror Files, man.
Yeah, we need a class trip.
Yes, that's true. So, all right, I think we've beaten this Green Man to death, I think, a little bit. Right?
Oh,
Charlie No Face. So, guys, listen, creeps. If you find yourself in the Pittsburgh area, go visit the Green Man Tunnel. All right, go call out Charlie No Face, and you just might hear. Goodbye, creeps.